We're looking back at the extraordinary life and career of Frank Sinatra. He died last night at the age of 82. In 1939, Frank Sinatra joined the Harry James Band. Patty Andrews, one of the Andrews sisters, also toured with the group. Andrews joins us by phone from Los Angeles. First, tell us about the first time you heard Frank Sinatra sing.
The first time I heard Frank Sinatra sing was when we worked together at the Chicago Theater in Chicago. He was the boy singer with the Harry James Band, and we were the Andrews sisters and the Harry James Band were on the bill together. That wasn't, I don't know if that's the first, yeah, I think that was the first time I heard him sing.
You were both young then. Tell me, did you think when you first heard him sing that he would become the legend he did?
Well, it's kind of hard to say. I'll tell you why, because the Paramount Theater was very, very big during that time in the early 40s, and we all worked there. And knowing and following each other on the bill and things like that, and seeing the tremendous success that he had with all the Bobby Soxers and everything. So Frank, I don't know, he creeped into your soul and he stayed there forever.
Tell us what you think his greatest strength was as a performer.
As a performer, I think his voice. He just, you know, it was an amazing thing, you know, about Frank. I'll tell you something, you know, if there was some kind of feeling that you couldn't say or feel, you know, when you were blue or whatever, he would pick you up and really send you to the skies. He could say it all for you in his music. Things that you couldn't say, he could say it for you, you know. Frank had the magic in everything that he did.
Are there any particular stories about Frank Sinatra you'd like to share with us?
I can't hear you, dear.
I wondered if there were any particular stories, any particular moments that you shared with Frank Sinatra that you'd like to tell us about.
You know, we have a bad connection. I hate to tell you that. I can hardly hear you.
Okay, Patty Andrews of the Andrews Sisters, thanks so much for joining us this morning. Bill?
Gene, thanks. Linda Mostaza recently wrote an encyclopedia about Frank Sinatra. In fact, it just went out on bookshelves this week. We'll talk with him live in Philadelphia coming up in a few minutes. Also, one more reminder, in about 45 minutes from now, we will replay an interview done between Larry King and Frank Sinatra 10 years ago this week. Again, that's at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Here now, another quick clip from that interview.
The hotels he played in, he would not play there unless black entertainers could have the same facilities and go through the same entrances. Incredible as it seems now, Nat King Cole, Lena Horne, Sammy Davis Jr. even had to go through back entrances. And I remember Lena Horne, he said, initially wasn't allowed to use the swimming pool at, I think it was the Sands Hotel. And
it was. Yeah. Her daughter dove in and they drained it, humiliated.
That's right.
Humiliating them.
He set all that. He changed all that. He wouldn't play. He wouldn't sing unless they changed their rules.
Saturday night is the loneliest night of the week.
He's been quoted as saying, "You gotta love living, baby, 'cause dying's a pain in the ass." And by the time Frank Sinatra sang at this 1943 rally for war bonds, he was already living the American dream.
I get no kick from champagne. Beer alcohol doesn't thrill me at all.
Hoboken, New Jersey's famous son became famous after winning an amateur hour contest on the radio. But his first love was a different kind of music.
He was raised with opera, so, I mean, Italian opera. His admiration for someone like Pavarotti is just, it goes to all kinds of depths, you know, and he would really like to have been like him.
His fame would come from making a generation of Bobby Soxers swoon.
The sex appeal was at first invented by, you know, the publicity people getting the girls to scream and carry on and faint. And then it became the thing to do.
These arms of mine are open.
The singing sensation quickly became a matinee idol in films such as Step Lively. Tom Dreesen, who toured with Sinatra for years, says he can count the reasons why.
Number one, young women want to make love to you. Number two, older women would want to mother you. Number three, little kids wish you were their dad. And number four, the guys want to hang out with you.
A vocal cord hemorrhage in 1952 nearly ended his musical career. The movies brought him back.
I escaped just like I said, just like I figured.
In From Here to Eternity, he was Maggio. He fought for the part and won an Oscar in the process as Best Supporting Actor. He would be nominated again for The Man with the Golden Arm, in which he played a heroin addict. He also indulged himself and his buddies, collectively known as the Rat Pack, in pictures like Robin and the Seven Hoods.
Got all you haven't got style.
But perhaps the ultimate Rat Pack movie was Ocean's 11, in which Sinatra leads an assault on Las Vegas.
These are the 5 casinos we hit. Sahara, Riviera, Desert Inn, the Sands, and the Flamingo.
On the famed Las Vegas Strip, Sinatra and his fellow Rat Packers showed that Vegas was also his kind of town. Sinatra would make more than 60 films and continually revitalize his singing career. Retirement did not come easily. On his life, Frank Sinatra, a few years back, summed it up his way.
I think my life is quite marvelous, and I'm very happy about it. People seem to be appreciating what I'm doing in my work, and I don't think I could ask for any one damn thing more.
Happy birthday, Mr. Sinatra.
And CNN will remember Frank Sinatra's life throughout the day here, and a couple of specials I'll tell you about as well. Coming up at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 on the West Coast. That's about 30 minutes from now. Larry King's last interview with Frank Sinatra. That interview took place 10 years ago this week. Also tonight, we take a special look at Sinatra's life and legend, a CNN special, Sinatra, The Voice. That's at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 on the West Coast. Stay tuned. Morning News continues after a quick break.
CNN Headline News. Good morning. I'm Sachi Koto. Whether you knew him as Old Blue Eyes, The Voice, or Chairman of the Board, one thing was certain about Frank Sinatra: he refused to be ignored. After a showbiz career that spanned more than 50 years, Frank Sinatra died last night of a heart attack at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles. He was 82. Sinatra's wife, Barbara, was with him when he died. Other family members arrived later, and friends today are mourning his death.
Once in my life, I've got someone who needs me, someone I've needed for so long.
Sinatra was best known for his singing, but was also a successful actor. He starred in 66 films and earned an Oscar for his role in From Here to Eternity. One of Sinatra's fans was President Clinton.
When I became president, I had never met Frank Sinatra, although I was an enormous admirer of his. I had the opportunity, after I became president, to get to know him a little, to have dinner with him, to appreciate on a personal level what hundreds of millions of people around the world, including me, appreciated from afar. And I would like to offer my condolences to his wife and to his children. I saw Nancy not very long ago in California. I think every American would have to smile and say he really did do it his way.
Sinatra had been in poor health for several years and was last seen in public in January. Frank Sinatra dead at the age of 82.
These years, and the ways in which he's taken that art and his life and melded them and reached a personal identification with the audience.
I think also imitation, if it's the purest sense of flattery. I hear people 21 years of age in the hallways here at CNN today singing Frank Sinatra songs. We talk a lot about him transcending the generations. Why do you think, though, he was so effective at doing that?
Well, I think apart from the music, he was also someone who and I'm going to use the word honest. He was an honest person. He said what was on his mind, whether people liked it or not, and I think that all of us directly or at least vicariously admire that.
Yeah, he has not been seen in public since January of 1997, almost a year and a half to this month. Was he suffering from Alzheimer's disease?
I have no idea, no information.
As we look back then at the American icon and throughout the day here, what's the best memory of Frank Sinatra?
Seeing him live in concert one year at Madison Square Garden, 20,000 people cheering, and him taking over the room as if it were someone's living room.
You have a favorite, Leonard?
Yes, The Way You Look Tonight.
Excellent. I'll go with Summer Wind. Leonard and Mostaza live today from Philadelphia. Thanks for your time and your thoughts, sir.
Thank you.
All right, Gene.